present here, I was thinking about what it was that made me so passionate to do what I did that I'm doing today in education. And it really was easy because it had to do with my upbringing, and it had to do a lot with my mother. So what I've done is I've written a letter that I would like to read and share with you today. She is watching today. She couldn't be here. She's with my grandmother in Kentucky, where she grew up. So, hi, Mom. Dear Mom, I was asked to reflect upon what made me so passionate about educating students within a global perspective. From the time that I can remember, you've always taught me to pay close attention to what is happening in our world, and you've provided me with the foundation of what I use today, of how I live. You gave me the inspiration and the passion to continue your path as an educator. I know that education has changed since your first years. However, your vision to make change in our world and to advocate for social justice has not. You taught students to be fair, you helped impoverished families, and you tirelessly helped immigrant families find their place in our community. You taught children to make connections to the world beyond themselves, and you helped them see that they need to be active and engaged in their learning. Well, it's been 35 years, and you recognize that students need an inquiry approach to learning. And today we are saying the same thing, and often we say it's because they have instant access to information, but it's not. It's because students need to have active participation in their own learning. It's now my turn to continue what you started, to connect myself and my students to the world beyond their own. Many years ago, you said that people are more educated now about injustices, and it's thanks to groups that were first ones to bite the bullet, the first ones to talk about things like racism and apartheid. You said that it may not be popular, but it's necessary, and I hear the same statement every day about students learning across our world. It is necessary that we provide them with adequate, fair, and universally designed learning space, but it's not always popular. It was about 10 years ago when I made my first personal connection as an adult to the world outside my own. It was sometime in the spring of '99 when Kosovo hit the international headlines. It was when forces under the Yugoslav president of Milosevic tried to suppress Albanians' majority of independence campaign. The news item struck my interest because you taught me to pay attention to what was happening in our world, to ask questions, and to listen to stories, and that's what I did. I wanted to know more. It was my first ever internet connection in '99. I began following blog posts from Kosovo Albanians who were being forced to flee their homes, thousands killed. And night after night I read posts from people all over the world expressing their same concern that I had. That was my first taste of Web 2.0, my first time publishing my thoughts for the world to see, my first social network outside of my personal space. And it felt empowering, and I was excited that this could be possible because I had a passion, I had an opportunity, and I had a platform to do what was necessary to give my students the same opportunity that I had to learn that the world does need them. You taught me to be authentic and current. It is my goal to give my students the gift of a global learning community. But as a result, I have found one myself. And you were right when you said don't do it alone. 10 years ago, I began to share my voice to strangers, and I felt connected. But today, I share my voice with colleagues and friends and supporters from all over the world, and I never feel alone. You help me see how one person's passion and dedication can lead to progress and change. And you told me to network and to be active, and I can't compare my experience with your involvement in anti-war protests in the 1970s, or your leadership in the civil rights movement, or your membership in affirmative action coalitions, but I can tell you that I have become networked. I've met so many people across Ontario and Canada and the world that share their knowledge and their passion. Jenny from Australia, she inspired me to use tools like iPods in the classrooms. My students can blog and read news and events from their homelands in their own language. And Doug from Ontario, he sends me weekly prompts every Friday as encouragement. And Andy from Belleville, He always is the first to help with any tech question I may have, or Jen from Alberta and Kathy from Saskatchewan, who share their classes with me in literacy and numeracy every week, and they remind me with their blogs and their tweets that learning and teaching is fun and engaging and connected. You might think my world as an educator is different from yours, and in many ways it is. Today, technology has provided opportunities and tools and choices, but most of all, access. And with these tools, I can now translate and podcast and listen and write and share. It's all for free. It is my vision and my dream, and I suppose, to provide equal opportunities for my students, like you did. So while the tools that I currently use in my classroom will change, I promise that I will continue to learn new ways of reaching people's potential. So through innovation and creativity in these new technologies, our world is catching up to a movement that you started years ago. Mom, enjoy your retirement and have comfort in knowing that the community of activists for students around the world continues to grow every day. Thanks.